Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Abbas Ali, a full-time orthopedic surgeon, a faculty of orthopedics, and a part-time YouTuber. Today we will look into the lives of the part-time students, people who have obligations and responsibilities like internship or raising a baby. And because of that, studying takes a backseat. In this video, I will talk about their challenges and try to give them some strategies that can help survive this journey. This is going to be a detailed video, so I will leave all the timestamps of everything I cover in the description down below. It will help you if you want to choose certain parts and watch them again. So without further ado, let's get on with it. The reason I call them part-time students is because although many of us have the luxury of time where we can study all day long in peace and comfort, part-time students on the other hand are the ones constantly struggling between work and studies. Now, a few days ago, I asked a question on my Instagram handle asking for genuine reasons for not being able to study. I got a lot of the usual, I feel lazy, I don't have an aim or ambition, I can't concentrate, I'm distracted by social media and phone and similar stuff like that. Honestly, I was a bit disappointed, but I kept on digging through the answers. And I found some genuine reasons. Here are a few examples. Hi sir, I'm a mother of a 3-month-old baby. My husband helps me as much as he can, but I just can't seem to get time to study and take care of my baby. Another example. Hello sir, my father recently passed away and we are financially exhausted. I had to take up a job to support my mother and sister and I can't find time to study for my exam. And one last example. Sir, I am doing my internship and it's extremely rough. I have to work at least 10 hours every day, and when I get back home, I am physically and mentally exhausted. Can you please help me study? Now, we all know that students, by virtue of their existence, are extremely busy individuals because they need to complete assignments, prepare for exams, attend lectures, socialize, pursue hobbies, participate in domestic chores, and have fun all at the same time. That's a full-time student I'm talking about, whose only job is to learn because everything else is being taken care of by someone else. Now, a part-time student, on the other hand, is the one who, apart from all those things I talked about, also has to take care of other obligations like a busy internship or a tough day job to support family, or has to take care of parents, or has to raise kids. These people are then busier than the busy. So if you are one of them and are watching this to get some help, I want to appreciate your efforts in these circumstances for not giving up. Although these may be trying times for you, it just shows that you are highly committed to your goals. And trust me, success doesn't elude that kind of commitment for a long time. But at the same time, if you're being honest, you will definitely not get the same amount of time to pursue your exam compared to a full-time student. And it's a huge handicap in competitive exams. But don't let that stop you, because you can only paint with the colors that you're given. Yes, it is hard, but it's not impossible. I personally know people who have managed to secure decent ranks or grades, even with multiple responsibilities. So the first thing I want to focus on is the mindset of a part-time student. I know many people who are constantly sulking because of their unfortunate situation. They crib about busy internships, taking care of their ailing parents, and complain about moving to another city after marriage. See, you have all the right to complain, but don't let that define your life. I want you to understand that when you can't escape or avoid responsibilities, the best way is doing it with a positive mindset. If you embrace your unfortunate circumstances, it will free up a lot of mind clutter, which you can use productively instead of throwing yourself a daily self-pity party. Trust me, mindset has a huge impact on your energy levels also. The more burdened you feel, the more tired you will be. Let me give you an example. Suppose you have to take care of your toddler and you have an exam coming up in a few months and there is no one there to help you. Now, instead of telling yourself, what is this yaar, I am not able to study, all my friends are getting settled and I'm just changing diapers all day long, tell yourself, I am so lucky that I am getting the opportunity to raise my kid. I'm able to spend quality time with him. Who knows how busy I will be in the future? This way, the time spent will be the same, but you will be happier and more content. Another example is of busy internship. Instead of cursing your seniors who are pushing you hard, tell yourself, I will learn something today. Don't just say that, actually do it. Learn why you are getting a sample, why you are getting that investigation. This way, you will not only avoid the negativity, but also learn valuable clinical points you might not find in the book. Now, if you go back to the stories that I talked about, what is the one common denominator among all of them? Yes, time. They are not getting enough time to study because of those reasons. So essentially, time management is a major problem for these part-time students. So let's see how we can fix that. Before embarking on this journey of preparation while doing an internship or with these responsibilities, I want you to visualize the duration of that commitment and fully understand what you're getting into, or else you will be exhausted very soon. So if it's an internship, you know it's going to be busy and you will be tired most of the days. But since you've decided to study and you will do as much as possible, I want you to visualize this. Before starting, tell yourself, I have 12 months, right? The best I can study is 4 hours on good days, and the worst I can do is 1 hour on bad days. So based on my sustainable progress analysis, it should be around 17 to 20 hours a week, and that's a good enough time if used properly. But the problem is that it's riddled with two problems. Number one, it's uncertain. You never know when you will get a call or the baby will start crying. And number two, it's spread out unevenly in the day, which means you can't sit for 6 hours straight and study. So you should be prepared for all of this. Now let's see how we can fix this problem. The most important thing as a part-time student is to make a schedule to plan your day. Now, many of you will argue that it's not possible because everything is so unpredictable, right? That's why I believe planning and scheduling your life as a part-time student is a journey of self-exploration and discovering your strengths and weaknesses. You keep experimenting and see what works best for you around your responsibilities. Find out if you can study better in the morning or night. Find out if you feel sleepy in the noon or not. Find out if you study better alone or with a partner. And if you're more productive on weekdays or weekends. Find out all these things about yourself. Now, as you discover yourself, start designing your schedule, keeping those things in mind. Trust me, it's going to be modified so many times, but that's the evolution we want. We want to fine-tune the schedule because no two people are the same, and we wanted to do it for you. So make your schedule and keep on modifying it as you go. Now, this schedule must include pretty much everything you do in a day. I know it's tedious, but you will have to do it. The idea is to allocate time to all important things. Example, studying, job, socializing, exercise, sleep, everything. This helps you create a balanced environment. It is very important to do this because it keeps things in perspective. Now, please don't start with the idea that somehow things will figure themselves out, because when you decide everything on the spur of the moment, you will feel drained and nothing will get done. Also, don't be too rigid about the things that you have to do in the allotted time, because you can't predict when the baby starts crying or the boss starts crying. Starts calling you. So make the schedule that includes everything, but also be a bit flexible around surprises. Great, now you have a plan, and that's half the battle. Now the key is its execution. Now trust me, this is easy. Here are a few things I want you to keep in mind. Start your day right. Do some quick exercise or meditation. Try to study a little bit early in the morning or whenever you can find time before work, because our brain grasps better early in the morning because it's well rested. Studying at night after work when you reach home exhausted may not be very efficient. Now, when on job, obviously focus on the work at hand. Otherwise, that's an added headache you don't want. But keep your eyes and ears open. Try to learn something relevant. Be observant. If you have doubts, ask questions. Try to connect the dots. Try to correlate your theoretical knowledge with the practical procedures that you're seeing being done there. Use every opportunity to study. Study while eating, study while waiting for the lift. And on duties, I sometimes studied between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. when most of the patients were sleeping. Now, obviously, your social life should take a nosedive. I feel you, it's okay, it's temporary. Utilizing work time for studying will give you your precious time cushion when you get back home, because who knows what kind of shitstorm is waiting for you at home. Try to utilize your travel time and break time by downloading apps on your phone. Practice questions from those apps. You have access to so many apps these days. Use them. Take small tests in custom modules. This will not only keep you happy because you're learning, but also helps you avoid unnecessary, awkward, small talks with your colleagues and staff. If you're a NEET PG aspirant in internship or have a job, I recommend trying out Marrow's new intern mode. It has curated content that allows you to finish syllabus in 4 to 5 months, and apparently it's helping a lot of people. Maybe it will help you as well. Also, if you have time and are tired, take power naps. Schedule a timer of 15 to 20 minutes and put your head down. Trust me, it's so refreshing. It's a million times better than scrolling through social media. Lastly, have a good support system, whether it is your family, friends, colleagues, or professors. I know it sounds weird as how this affects time management, but believe me, having them help you during your time of need is going to save you tons of stress. If you're lucky, some professors are willing to accommodate and leave you early for a class or a test, and that makes a huge difference when you're preparing. At the same time, there might be some colleagues probably in the same situation as you are who are convinced it can't be done, and they will try to bring you down. So just stay away from them. Also, plan ahead in terms of your leaves. Plan leaves at least 2 weeks before your exam so that you can completely dedicate that time for your preparation. Now, once you get back home, take a rest if you need it. Utilize the time around your obligations very carefully. Do the things you have to do and get back to studying. Don't lie on the couch and fall asleep. Take a scheduled power nap if you need it instead. Stick to your schedule, keep on studying as planned. Always keep interesting and easy topics for the last 1 to 2 hours before sleeping. And don't forget to plan your next day before sleeping. It will save you so much time that you usually waste aimlessly in the morning. It's a very important ritual. Learn more about it in my video Plan Tomorrow Today, just about here. Now, weekends are a bliss. I'm not saying devote a full weekend to your studies. No, don't do that. You need to have fun too. But if you're enjoying 2 to 3 hours on those days, then definitely devote a good 10 to 12 hours to your studies as well. Because if you sacrifice some fun now, you can enjoy later without any regrets. Utilize weekends well by giving and analyzing full-length grand tests or mock tests, which helps you in 2 very important ways. Number 1, it helps you monitor your progress, and it identifies your strengths and weaknesses, which allows you to tweak your approach for the next week. Learn to say no. Remember, you cannot do everything in the world and keep everyone happy. Politely refuse to accept additional work if you think you are already overloaded. Take a look at your schedule before agreeing to any kind of work. Even if it's your close friend, tell them no if it's not possible. If they are close enough, they should understand. See, when you're studying in the limited time you have, there has to be only one thing on your mind: your work. Remember that everything else is secondary at that time and should wait till you complete your task. Silence your phone, disconnect the internet, and ask people to not disturb you. If need be, use Pomodoros to keep track of your attention. You can watch how to do that in this video over here. You obviously can't keep everything in your head, so use technology to help sharpen your sense of priority. Make a list of daily tasks and keep ticking off stuff. It's so gratifying when you start ticking stuff off of the list. It helps you in prioritizing and letting go of the less important stuff, which will relieve your stress that comes with pending work. By the way, the app I'm using here is called Keep. It's from Google and it's absolutely free. It will change your life. See, don't be greedy with jobs. Sometimes for a slightly higher pay, you will be asked to take more responsibilities. Don't fall for that, because a small hike in salary comes with more burden, practically driving you crazy by the time you reach home. If you're working, remember why you're working. You need to survive till you reach your goal. You're not working to get rich. Similarly, while studying, getting things done is your priority, but getting the best score on every test is not. Learn to be happy with average scores. Your aim should be to cover as many important topics as possible and not focus only on one area. Remember the 80-20 rule. 80% of the questions come from 20% of the syllabus. If you want me to make a video on that rule in detail, tell me in the comments below and I will do it. So in summary, correct your mindset, make schedules and fine-tune them around your work. Make a morning and night ritual and use your time at work effectively for study and nap. Learn to say no and block out all kinds of negativity and distractions. Honestly, I don't recommend working when you're preparing for a major exam. But if you have to do it and there is no other option, understand that it will be extremely hard. But many have done it and you can do it too. And when you grow with this learning, you will not only grow older, but also wiser, and you will remember every single day. You will remember how it was hard and how close you were to breaking down. And in your times of stresses later in life, when you would have become successful and things are not bad anymore, it will remind you of your own capacity and will teach you a very important lesson of empathy for these people. So every time you see an intern or a part-time student, you will go easy on them. Now tell me in the comments what you think. If I've helped you in any way, click the thumbs up button and share this video with any part-time student you know. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. I usually put out useful content for students, and don't forget to click on the bell icon. I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.